There's one gift that we can give our children. It's the gift of good money habits.
But sometimes our habits sabotage them. The Fox 5 I-Team's Dana Fowle says parental guilt is often the culprit.
Ain't that the American way? I gotta tell you, here's the situation. We're all familiar with it. Many of you give your children an allowance. It's supposed to last all week. But you're at the store, they want something, but they're out of money. Now, if you give them the money, then you lose the teaching moment here about savings and budgeting. So what do you do when your child looks up, teary, pitiful, begging, pay for it? Don't. A behavioral therapist at In-Town Counseling and Wellness who works with children says if you give in to this bad behavior, you are rewarding it. And here's a better way to handle this. Distract them, move them along, refuse to entertain the conversation any longer. Now let's chat about allowance for a quick second. I called the folks over at Atlanta's Oxygen Financial and they say what many experts are recommending these days. Listen to this. Don't pay an allowance for basic chores like picking up after themselves because that is just part of being in a family. Let your children earn money by doing a job, like pet sitting for a neighbor, maybe doing a little extra yard work. Now, getting these lessons in order sooner rather than later is the key because get this, according to a recent university study, kids' money habits can start locking into place as early as 7 years old.
Wow.
Things you don't know, and you know, I'm sure that it looks good on paper, but actually trying to do it is a different story.
Yeah, I mean, I've been at that candy aisle. I know what people are up against. You know, it is hard, but Afton Murphy, who's a children's therapist at In-Town Counseling and Wellness, said, here are a few things you need to remember. It's okay to tell your children no. In fact, that's your job. Don't go overboard on buying things for them. It warps their sense of value. And once they get older, make them pay a bill, like the gas for their car for fun. My parents always did that. They paid for the gas on the way to school, but if you wanted any fun time, we literally would be collecting quarters from each other to get the gas.
My parents, they didn't give me everything I wanted, but they gave me everything I needed. And so that kind of carried over into adulthood. My wants kind of go, I don't really need that.
I used to get
what I need.
I used to get a negative allowance. I used to owe my mother money because anytime she found a book bag or anything sitting around, she'd dock you a nickel, and I was the slob, and I would come out negative.
Yeah.
But you learned a lesson, didn't you?
I learned a lesson
at an early age. That's right. Dana,
Thanks,
thank you.
Dana.